I really don't have any words. Maybe I'll find some after this intro. Now, I don't want to alarm anyone. Is your DeBrincat making too much noise all the time?
I haven't really prepared for this.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hawks Recap. My name is Glade. Thank you for tuning in. The Blackhawks have just completed their 30th game of their shortened 56-game schedule. 6th game in the state of Florida. It'll be none too soon before they no longer have to play in that wretched state. And the Hawks, once again, blow a multi-goal lead and fail to pick up a single point. They lose tonight by a final score of technically 6-3, although 2 of those goals were empty netters. Where to start? I guess at the beginning. Blackhawks came into this game with a record of 10-1-2 in second games of series, and they've done a good job so far this season bouncing back and finding ways to get points, winning games. And for the most part, this game looked like a good bounce back game, a chance for them to get some points. Same lineup as Saturday for the Blackhawks. Kevin Lankinen once again in net. Coach Colleton putting David Kampf in that first line center spot between Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat. Yes, that is a thing apparently. You got to remember that the Blackhawks are playing against teams like the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the top 3 teams in the NHL. Yes, if you weren't aware, the top 3 teams in the league are all in the Central Division, and the Hawks are playing against these teams with their top 2 centers as David Kampf and 35-year-old Carl Soderberg. That's not ideal, and it certainly doesn't help with the face-off percentage. Blackhawks winning a grand total of 39% of the draws in this game, which is actually an improvement over Saturday night, where they won a whopping 33%. Now, I understand that face-off percentage can be an overrated stat. There's usually some wiggle room around that 50% mark. When you're in the 40s, it's really not that big of a deal. But when you're dropping into the 30s, that's not good, especially when you're going up against really good teams like the Florida Panthers. Generally speaking, the more face-offs you lose, the more opportunities you give your opponent to control the puck, to dictate play, to set up plays, just have the puck in general. And one of the best strategies you can do against really good teams is limit their time with the puck as best you can. But when you're losing 60+% of the draws, it's really hard to do that. That probably explains why the Hawks are having such a troubled time holding on to multiple goal leads like they once again had tonight. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the first period. Panthers came out flying in this one. Hawks certainly did not match their intensity out of the gates, which was a little bit disappointing. But after the first few shifts, the Hawks settled in and got their game going. About halfway through the first period, Hawks are on the forecheck. Blackhawks legend Anthony Duclair with the puck, trying to dangle through everyone. Forecheckers, his teammates. Predictably, he fails spectacularly. David Kampf picks up the puck, gets it to Patrick Kane, and he puts it 5-hole past Bobrovsky, and just like Saturday night, the Hawks take a 1-0 lead. Blackhawks played pretty decently in that first period, 5-on-5 at least. When they had the man advantage, it was a little bit different story. Hawks had 2 power plays in that opening period, and it wasn't good. They had 0 shots on either of those opportunities, could not take advantage of it, and that's something that's really hamstrung them lately. Then late in the period, Duncan Keith decides to take a really dumb penalty. Dunks, you know I love you. I mean, we met at the convention for a brief moment. I mean, mostly because you were obligated to, but I say this as a good friend. Do we really have to be blatantly tripping someone when we go to the bench for a change? Like, you tell me. You're the professional hockey player out there, but I mean, I don't think it's necessary. I know we haven't done great on the power play, but that doesn't really extend to our opponents. I'd rather not give them more opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, the Florida Panthers would score on the ensuing power play. To be fair, the Hawks PK actually did a pretty decent job on that penalty kill. Owen Tippett's just a plinko master. The puck ricochets in off like 10 skates before it goes in past Lankinen. And so this game is tied at 1 going into the second period. And just like the first period, I thought the Hawks played pretty decently in the second, and about halfway through, they would retake the lead. Great stretch pass from Calvin DeHaan, who I thought had a really good game in this one. Stretch pass to Janmark, who takes it into the offensive zone, draws the defender, and throws it over to Philip Kurashev and Bobrovsky. He's just way out of position. Wide open net for Kurashev, and he's not going to miss that. Blackhawks up 2-1. That goal seemed to give the Hawks quite a bit of confidence. They were absolutely buzzing after that one, and about 3 minutes later, they would score again. Duncan Keith with a shot from the point. Kubalik redirects it, hits Hagel, who has inside position on Blackhawks legend Gustav Forsling, and Hagel pots home that loose puck. His second goal in as many games. 3-game point streak, and the Hawks are up 3-1, and things are looking good. Now, we've been here before. Blackhawks have had a decent amount of multiple goal leads this season. And yes, it's a small sample size, but from the data we have, we pretty much understand that 2-goal leads are not safe with this team. Even 3-goal leads are not safe. We got to get to the 4-goal lead. The Hawks got to keep pushing here, get to a 4-goal lead. Unfortunately, they never really get the opportunity. Just about 2 minutes after the Blackhawks made it 3-1, the Panthers would score their second power play goal of the game, and then just a minute after that, with about 1 billion people screening Lankinen, Blackhawks legend Gustav Forsling would tie this game up. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you my table. Now, the Panthers had another power play shortly after that, and they looked like they were going to take the lead, but thankfully Lankinen would sprawl and just flash the leather and somehow make a ridiculous save to keep this game tied 3-3 heading into the third. For the third straight period, I thought the Hawks played pretty decently overall. It looked like they were able to bounce back from the end of that second period. It looked like they had a decent chance of scoring and taking the lead and maybe winning this game, or at the very least, taking it into overtime and getting a point. And with about 9.5 minutes remaining, they would even get a power play. And I know their power play hasn't been great as of late, and certainly was not good at the beginning of this game, but it only takes one, right? It only takes one shot, one bounce, one opportunity. Mom's spaghetti, you know what I'm saying? Hawks power play was not good once again. No shots on goal. In fact, they gave up a shot on goal. So, yeah, not a great power play. But about 20 seconds after that power play expires, they get another one, another chance. Here we go. All right, we can do this. 15 seconds into the power play, Barkov scores a shorthanded goal. It's at this point in this game, through 3 full Blackhawks power plays and 15 seconds of a fourth, that the Panthers have 1 goal and the Blackhawks have 0 shots on goal. Excuse me while I fix my table here. God damn it! Well, having a great power play was fun while it lasted. I guess we're back to the point where it's better if we just decline them. The Panthers would score 2 empty net goals at the end to make the final score a little bit more lopsided than the game actually was. But nevertheless, the Hawks blow multiple goal lead once again, which has been just a frustrating trend this season. And, you can't really ask a whole lot out of this team that has so many rookies playing and are down without, their top 3 centermen, especially against teams like the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Carolina Hurricanes. It's tough sledding out there. But when you have games like this, when you have opportunities like this, you gotta find a way somehow to get into overtime at the very least and get a point. You gotta be able to figure out how to do that. And so far, Hawks have really struggled with just doing that. Unfortunately, I don't really know how to fix it other than the whole vague, win more faceoffs, stop taking dumb penalties, and stop sucking on the power play. It's not really a scheme thing. It's just the players need to just do better. And unfortunately, like I said, how much more can we expect from this roster that is playing without Jonathan Taves and Kirby Dach and Dylan Strome? They're exceeding expectations enough already. There's only so much you can ask from them, but man, it would be nice if we could find ways to close these games out. Up next for the Hawks, they stay in the state of Florida for their final 2 games in the Sunshine State. Thank goodness for that. 2 games against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who just lost to the Nashville Predators 4-1 tonight, so they'll probably come out a little bit pissed. Although they do have a game against the Dallas Stars between now and then, so maybe they'll calm down by then. But my hope is at least maybe the Hawks will come out pissed for those games. That would be nice. With that said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I really hope you got some sort of enjoyment out of it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.